Happy Sunday, everybody. 8:45 here on this Sunday morning. Welcome to the WKYC app. We've got team coverage. Anthony and I both holding down the fort here this morning as this winter storm continues to roll on. Very snowy scene behind you there, Anthony. Overall, yeah, the snowfall continues to fall here. So we're going to take you through a couple things here. We've got a lot to talk about, obviously, with the snow that's coming in right now. The bulk of the storm is just hitting right now. All right, so you're waking up this morning. We were expecting anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. Generally, we are in the 2 to 4 inch range in terms of what's on the ground right now. We have a couple spots, especially further to the south, that are approaching 5 inches of snow already. And this is a steady as-you-go snow. We've talked about this the last couple days. This is a marathon-like event, right? This isn't all going to come at once like lake effect snow does. This is a steady all-day snow. As a result, we have our weather impact alerts that continue throughout the entirety of the day. They'll go through tomorrow, especially around midday. We should be able to kind of wind it down. We've got a lot of cleanup to do, though. However, let's take a live shot. We're seeing a similar scene all across Northeast Ohio. It's dark outside, despite the fact that sun's been up. We've got a copious amount of moisture in our atmosphere right now. This is a live shot, 77 to 277 down in the Canton area. Yep, those are highways there, folks. They are covered in snow. They're not impassable, but they're not perfect. And that's what ODOT's been saying, that there's going to be snow cover, obviously, on all area roads. Just take it slow. But overall, you'll be able to manage if you do have to head out here this morning. But the recommendation is that you just stay at home. If you don't have to travel, don't do it. And the reason why is because things are starting to go downhill. We're at 13 degrees over Hopkins right now. We do have snowflakes falling there at a moderate clip. Notice also the wind. The wind right now sitting out of the east-northeast at 10. That's it. This is not a windy system. A lot of people have, asked, how does this compare to the, blizzard of 78? This doesn't. This is not a blizzard by any means. This is a good, solid snow where we're going to end up with some really decent amounts area-wide on this. So in terms of the radar right now, notice how we've had that uptick over the last couple hours. If you joined us on the TV side of things, we were tracking this in. Anthony was tracking some of this heavier snow working in, and we continue to see it kind of band. What we've been talking about all week and what's happening is this snow is going to fluctuate between light at times to moderate at others to heavy at other times. No particular intensity is going to last for all that long. It's going to kind of fluctuate back and forth. But what we've noticed over the last hour and a half or so is that we're starting to see more of the moderate to heavy stuff as expected. So we'll start you out in Cleveland right now. Anything in darker blue, that's where we've got some of the heavier snow. There's kind of a strip of heavier snow there. Another little chunk out here towards Portage County. Both these areas experiencing a general moderate to at times a little burstier, heavier snow. By and large, though, the best organization of the snow we have right now is in this area right here. Northern areas of Richland County into the Bailey Lakes area. Ashland, you're in that as well. Getting into West Salem. This will push into Medina shortly. There's another area here from Worcester over towards Smithville, Doylestown, getting down towards Mount Eaton, and eventually getting into areas of the Canton area, as I showed you on that webcam. Both those strips of snow are putting down upwards of 1 inch of snow per hour. And then we've got more heavy stuff. This is where we have some of the higher totals, stretching from Canton down towards the Brewster area, Janadenhutton getting snow, New Philadelphia out towards Minerva, Carrollton, all those locations seeing heavier snow than the rest of us. All right, big picture. As we zoom on out, this thing is a behemoth in terms of how much real estate it takes up. We've got snow now breaking out areas of New York City, Boston. They're expecting over 1 foot, even upwards of 2 feet of snow as you get inland from the Atlantic Ocean. For us more specifically, though, we've got about 700 more miles of snow. Notice how that back edge gets a little, there's some dry air invading in it. There's a little patchy back towards Arkansas. But overall, we've got a lot more snow to come, and this will really start to ramp up as we've seen over the last hour or so. It will continue with that increased snowfall rate as we're on the very northern side of where that transition takes place between the big ice storm down towards Tennessee and Kentucky and where we have the heavier snow here. We call that the deformation band. That's where you have a big temperature gradient that's developed aloft, like 5,000 to 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. And that temperature gradient produces a lot of uplift and it creates heavy precipitation out of it. So that's where you get your heavier snow. And guess where we're going to park ourselves over the next several hours? In that zone. Doesn't mean it's going to be heavy the whole entire time, but we'll certainly have that around. Temperatures are on the cold side. This is a cold snow. It's powdery. It's fluffy. It blows around easily, but the wind is not that strong. I mean, we've got gusts that have gone about 20 at times, but that's really the exception rather than the rule. So thank goodness it's not blowing around everywhere, but wind chill values are on the cold side, and there's so much cold air getting ready to wrap back into this system. You see wind chill values around -50 up in southern Canada, -30 up near International Falls. That cold air comes back in here as we go throughout the day tomorrow. All right, let's send it over to Anthony. Anthony's got the important forecast as we go throughout the rest of the day, how much we can expect and those impacts.
Yeah, well, I'm just stunned at Saskatoon, 52 below. Wow, that is a really, really cold air, but that is the type of cold air that's impacting what's happening here in the lower Great Lakes. With the snow falling, it is dry, I would say dry, sort of sugary type of snow that's falling, and thank goodness we don't have a lot of wind energy with this. This is a live look from our CSU camera. I'm curious to see what the latest visibility numbers are right now, because it's definitely down to less than a mile from this shot. This CSU camera, this is about 12 stories up. It's supposed to be looking to the west. Supposed to be looking at the downtown towers, but we're definitely under this moderate band as Matt was just tracking on analysis. And as we go throughout the next several hours, as I'm going to be handling the forecasting with all this, we're going to be looking at temperatures maintaining in the teens. So it's going to be cold, but not as cold as yesterday, so that's a plus. Not as windy as yesterday either, so we're going to have those single-digit wind chills, so make sure you bundle up if you're going to be out playing in the snow or just digging out. We have hours to go of dealing with light to moderate snow as we go throughout much of the morning, and the snow could be heavy at times. Let's talk about the wind speeds, because they could gust as high as 20 to 25 miles an hour briefly, but mainly as we go throughout the afternoon, the winds are going to be backing off, and really as we go throughout the next 12 hours with the evasion of that cold air we were just talking about, that's really going to keep us on the calmer side when it comes to the winds. So we have a lot of snow, but the wind is not going to be all that problematic when it comes to the latest impacts. It's going to be solely about how intense the snow is going to be. So the heavy snowfall rates have already arrived across portions of Northeast Ohio, and that's going to be moving in spurts and waves as we go throughout the next several hours. So the timeline of the snow, the widespread snow, is eventually going to be wrapping up a little bit sooner than later into the evening, but the overall impacts will be the heavy snowfall rates, also creating those visibility issues you just saw from our CSU cameras. So traveling is not going to be advised. If you don't have to be out, it's Sunday. A lot of cancellations, not only when it comes to the schools, we've had cancellations when it comes to church services as well. Keep things indoors, maybe tune in online. And also extreme cold. We're going to have a prolonged period of that as we go throughout the next 7 to 10 days as we wrap up the final week of January. Let's talk about the heavy snow, because that's going to be top of mind. And the heavy snow is going to be with us all throughout the late morning, afternoon, into the early evening hours. That is where we expect the heart of the heaviest snow to be arriving due to the tracking of this low that's going to be sliding in. But the heaviest and the steadiest, heaviest snow will be most seen down to the south along Route 30. This is going to be the heavy snow event for you guys. Heavy snow for all of us, but really, really heavy for you guys. You guys have the better chances of seeing at least a foot of snow out of this. So high accumulations already, and as we go throughout the rest of the morning, here it is approaching midday. We're going to be in the thick of the moderate to heavy snow bands. As I was mentioning earlier, the afternoon and evening, we're going to be tracking those heavier snow bands as we go throughout the next 6 hours. Temperatures, meanwhile, remaining in the teens, and notice the wind speeds, sustained winds around 5 to 10, could gust as high as 15 miles an hour as we go throughout the evening. So we pick up a north wind on the backside of this low. Now, the good news is the snow is going to be wrapping up. This is the earlier timeline I was speaking of, at least with the bulk of the heavy, widespread snow. We'll be wrapping up around 8 and 9 o'clock for this evening. And by this time, we're going to be looking at some significant snowfall amounts. We're not done with the snow, although we'll catch a lull in the action, which is great news if you do have to go out to work, especially for the early risers, third shifters. This is going to be the time period we are going to be cleaning up, especially with the ODOT plows out, hopefully cleaning up the roads, the main arteries, getting you prepared for your Monday morning. And then as we get closer to Monday morning around daybreak, wind speeds, they're going to be switching. Well, wind speeds going to be gusting as high as 18, but the direction of the wind is going to be influenced out of the northwest, and that's going to trigger lake effect snow showers. And we're going to be sticking with the lake effect snow as we go throughout the morning, right into the early afternoon. And notice how the winds are veering eventually from the northwest, then turn more westerly as we go throughout the afternoon. And that's going to help lift up the lingering lake effect snow bands as we go throughout your Monday evening into the overnight. Meanwhile, check out these temperatures for pre-dawn Tuesday. Many of us waking up below zero with double-digit sub-zero wind chills. That is the type of cold air frostbite is going to be likely. Now let's dive into the latest model data. So as we go throughout the next several hours, this is additional snowfall forecast. So as we wrap up Monday morning into Monday afternoon, I really want to highlight this box here. Now, what we do as forecasters, we try to detect any type of trends with the model data. And lowest totals from our in-house model showing 9 inches by Monday evening. Upwards to a foot, over a foot from our European computer model, nearing or just over 11 inches from our GFS model. NAM model, North American computer model, showing nearly a foot of snow, over 10 inches of snow. So the overall consensus have us anywhere between 9 to 12 plus inches of snow. This is for Cleveland proper. So let's have a little bit more details, taking things chunk by chunk here throughout the morning. This is midday, additional 2 to 3.5 inches of snow with the heavier stripes of snow where we have those heavier bands down to the south of Mansfield over to Carrollton. As we go throughout the afternoon, here it is, additional 4 additional inches of snow. By this time, we're looking at 4 to 7 inches of snow by this time, and additional amounts as we approach midnight tonight as the bulk of the snow is going to be exiting to the east. Now we're looking at an additional 5 to 9 inches of snow by this time. And then as we go throughout the entirety of your Monday with the lake effect snow bands impacting our primary snow belt areas, now we could look at those decent amounts nearing a foot of snow. Okay, you also have to add on what's already fallen since midnight tonight. So if this verifies, this is our in-house model, many locations will be nearing a foot of snow, which is supremely impactful compared to the recent snowfall we had, at least for all of Northeast Ohio. Matt, what do you have as far as latest prolonged cold and looking forward to next 7 days?
We've got really not a lot temperature-wise to look forward to next 7 days. But yeah, this snow's going to stick around for a while. In terms of the snow right now, though, we were expecting 1 to 4 inches by morning. Here we are in the morning, getting a lot of snappy people on social media. It's unbelievable. Someone said, imagine if everyone was as bad at their job as a meteorologist, get a real job loser. That's the latest comment to come in. Pay attention to the forecast. We've been saying 1 to 4 by morning since last Wednesday. Unbelievable. All right, where do we go from here? Well, we've got this system to say goodbye to. Anthony showed you we'll have some lingering lake effect tomorrow, and then we've got another clipper system that's going to come in on Tuesday. It's not going to have a lot of snow with it, but we'll have snow showers with it. May kick off a little lake effect. Well, the lake's mainly frozen. How can we get lake effect? Well, we get helps from the other Great Lakes. So Lake Huron in Michigan will contribute some moisture. Again, getting a little snowy around here on Tuesday. That would continue into Tuesday evening and Tuesday night. Everything should wind down pretty quickly on Wednesday with just a few flurries around Wednesday into Thursday. Notice how that snowfall just continues to kind of dance around the Great Lakes all the way through the end of the week. Overall, from here on out, the bulk of the snowfall will be east of here. As Anthony mentioned, today's the day that we get some of these higher totals, anywhere from probably another 5 to 10, as he was showing you, will fall here in Northeast Ohio. So that storm is not done. All right, let's talk cold air because this snow's not going anywhere. Is it going to melt off? Sometimes it does late January, February, but we have no warm air in the forecast here over the next 7 to 10 days as this frigid Arctic air mass continues to unload on the eastern U.S. There is some indication that this pattern becomes more zonal once we get towards the first full week of February. That means we would head up near average again, maybe 30s and 40s. Wouldn't that feel nice in the forecast? All right, let's take it to the 10-day forecast for you. Union Hill Mortgage 10-day. Weather impact alerts today going through tomorrow. The cleanup continues probably through Tuesday into Wednesday with that fresh snow coming in Tuesday. We'll have some gusty wind blowing it around as well, and just stays Arctic cold through the week with temperatures generally staying in the single digits. Our average high mid-30s. We're nowhere close to that. Perhaps some recovery into the end of that. All right, we'll have more streaming here on the WKYC app, and we're going to hit you up on the news side of things starting at 9.